We are in day 35 of the government shutdown right now, and based on where a lot of Americans are sitting, doesn't really seem like there's an end in sight. Is that true? To start off the conversation, I'm curious if there are conversations between Democrats and Republicans right now on how to end this shutdown.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations happening right now, primarily, obviously, on the Senate side, but there's definitely conversations happening. Listen, this has been really last week and last Saturday, we saw 42 million Americans lose their food stamps. Um, we saw people missing paychecks, TSA workers, air traffic controllers missing paychecks. Last week, at the end of last week, was really the week when the rubber met the road, and it was not a thought anymore. It actually happened. So I think you saw labor unions come out, pilot associations come out. Actually, we've done polling. Not that anyone wins in a shutdown, because they don't, because it's the American people that get hurt. But people are frustrated, and they're calling on the Democrats to open up the government. So it's really getting real.
And to that point, according to polls, more Americans are concerned about how this shutdown is impacting them now opposed to a month ago. And Senate Majority Leader John Thune said on Monday that he thinks lawmakers are getting close to an off-ramp here. So based on those conversations that you're hearing on the Senate side, I know you're not in the Senate side, but on the Senate side and perhaps in the House too, what does that off-ramp look like?
Well, the off ramp looks like today's election day. And I think the normal Democrats needed to cede the power to their radical base. They did that. It's over. Chuck Schumer can pound his chest and say that this is the longest shutdown. So now, whatever goals they wanted to achieve, they can achieve. And some off ramps now are starting to happen, right? We really don't have anything to offer because we passed a clean CR with an end date that was bipartisan of November 21st. So we did our job in the House. I think the issue is Democrats want a certainty of outcome, and they're using healthcare for that right now. I don't think they're going to get a certainty of outcome, but I think there's some talk about what's going to happen with the ACA credits? Can we get a vote on the ACA credits? And we've said all along, open up the government and let's have these debates. Let's have these discussions. But it doesn't behoove anybody when the government's closed.
And to that point, the only point of agreement I hear from my conversations with Republicans and Democrats are there are problems with healthcare in this country. The costs are too high. We need to find a solution. Obviously, the timing is the really big point of contention here. Yeah. And Speaker Mike Johnson, he said a few times during the shutdown, once the government's open, the GOP's ready to go. We have a plan. We have proposals. What does that look like? What is the Republican plan or proposals when it comes to addressing healthcare costs?
Well, the issue with the healthcare costs right now is there's a ton of waste, fraud, and abuse with the ACA credits, right? People who are making $600,000 a year really, I'm hard pressed to see that those people really deserve and need those extended healthcare credits. So we want to clean that up. Also, we need to lower premiums for the American taxpayer, for the American person. What is happening is healthcare rates have increased. And all of the monies, all of those subsidies, they're not going to the American person, they're going to the insurance company. So the insurance company is getting richer and richer, and healthcare is getting more and more expensive. We have to fix that. We need to have some PBM reform. So there's not one silver bullet. It's a big mess. Obamacare does not work. The Affordable Care Act is anything but affordable. And we're happy to begin to clean up that mess, but we need to open the government.